Off the coast of Whitstable, UK, a satellite recorded something that defies every biological law, a 50-foot shadow lurking just beneath the piers. Skeptics called a rendering error or sand formation, but the raw files reveal a perfect organic structure. And the terrifying truth is, it's not the only one. Today, we are declassifying 7 massive anomalies that Google Earth tried to dismiss as mere glitches. From 200-meter shadows in the Arctic to the massive wake cutting through the waters of New Zealand as we speak. We begin with a trail that simply shouldn't exist. Number 7. Oki Bay Creature. We begin our countdown in New Zealand, specifically off the coast of Oki Bay in the Hauraki Gulf. This is an idyllic spot, known for clear waters and traditional Maori fishing, a location that makes the ensuing mystery all the more unsettling. The discovery was not made by a cryptozoologist, but by a highly trained naval engineer conducting bathymetric and satellite correlation studies. What he found in the high-resolution satellite imagery was an undeniable, persistent trail, a massive wake stretching several hundred meters across the surface. The wake itself is the primary piece of technical evidence that elevates this case far above a simple glitch or wave pattern. The engineer noted 3 impossible characteristics. First, the scale. The energy required to displace this amount of water would necessitate a mass far exceeding that of a large sperm whale or even a humpback. The length of the disturbance suggests an organism 30 to 50 meters long traveling at speed. Second, the sharpness and duration. The satellite captured a clean, sharp V shape, indicating something cutting through the water at an incredible velocity. Crucially, the trail persisted for an unnatural length of time. Known large creatures like whales or sharks create a turbulent, frothy wake that dissipates quickly. This trail was too clean, too precise. Third, lack of froth. This is the scientific horror. For a creature of that presumed size and speed, the physics of water displacement should create a huge band of white, turbulent foam, a sign of air being dragged and mixed into the water. The Oki Bay anomaly showed almost none. This suggests a massive, smooth, silent body traveling just beneath the surface, moving with a fluid efficiency that defies known hydrodynamics. It was the perfect wake, left by an unseen, powerful mass. The local context only deepens the terror. For centuries, the Maori people have spoken of the Tanawa, powerful, spiritual guardians that take the form of giant lizards or serpents, protecting the waters and sometimes acting as menacing, unpredictable monsters. They are often associated with specific bays and river mouths, exactly like Oki Bay. Is it a massive unknown species of colossal eel or serpentine whale? Is it a rogue submarine? The latter has been dismissed, as the wake pattern doesn't match known propulsion systems. The inescapable truth, etched into the satellite data, is that a gargantuan, non-turbulent mass moved quickly through Oki Bay, leaving behind a perfectly analyzed, yet impossible, signature, a chilling digital confirmation of an ancient, waterborne guardian or predator. The technical analysis of the water dynamics, the sheer size of the trail, and the persistence of the mythological element make the Oki Bay creature a terrifying introduction to the secrets hidden in plain sight. Number 6. Japanese ningen. At number 6, we leave the coastlines and dive into the coldest, most hostile waters on the planet, the desolate Antarctic and the deep, dark South Atlantic, the alleged habitat of the Japanese ningen. This is the segment dedicated to immediate visual shock and the deep-seated fear of the uncanny valley. The name ningen translates from Japanese to simply human or humanoid. The myth, or the conspiracy, began circulating in the early 2000s, claiming that Japanese government whaling research vessels encountered these creatures during deep ocean surveys near the Antarctic Circle. The sightings, later allegedly confirmed by highly controversial Google Earth images taken near Namibia and Deception Island, paint a horrifying picture: a colossal, pale, bipedal figure in the dark ocean. The alleged satellite evidence, though heavily debated and sometimes attributed to lens flare or ice formations, shows an object that is undeniably anthropomorphic. The feature that creates the immediate dopamine spike of fear is the silhouette, a smooth, pale figure possessing what appears to be a distinct torso, 2 long appendages, arms or legs, and a large, bulbous head with no discernible features. The estimates of its size based on the pixel correlation place this thing at anywhere between 20 and 30 meters long, a giant, pale, swimming man. The concept of the ningen is terrifying because it preys on our foundational fear, that of the imposter. It looks human, but it operates on a scale and in an environment that is utterly alien. Conspiracy theories suggest the ningen is a creature that evolved in the perpetual dark, deep thermal vents, hence its pale, unpigmented skin, and its enormous size required for survival in the deep-sea gigantism effect. The bipedal stance could be interpreted as massive fins or stabilizing flippers used for vertical movement in the water column, but the digital image locks onto a shape that is disturbingly familiar. The fact that the initial reports originated from tightly controlled government research vessels, combined with the subsequent, difficult-to-dismiss satellite imagery showing these unnerving shapes, elevated the ningen to a truly global phenomenon of digital cryptozoology. The sheer psychological terror of spotting a colossal, ghost-white, featureless figure swimming upright in the black, frozen sea, a silent, colossal imposter, secures its place as one of the most frightening digital anomalies ever captured by Google Earth. Number 5. Corfu Island SEA Monster, the Mediterranean Mystery. Our third entry takes us back to the familiar, sun-drenched waters of the Mediterranean, specifically near Corfu Island in Greece. This location is steeped in history, ancient navigation, and legendary sea monsters, yet a sighting captured on Google Earth proves that the modern digital eye can still confirm ancient anxieties. This mystery came to prominence through the baffled account of a Scottish tourist who, while virtually exploring the Greek islands on Google Earth, stumbled upon a massive, distinct silhouette gliding just beneath the surface of the Ionian Sea. The image itself is vague, low contrast, and appears like a massive, dark stain, yet its shape is what unnerves experts. It doesn't resemble the common profiles of local marine life, not a pod of whales, not a large manta ray, and certainly not a shipwreck. Instead, the silhouette appears sinuous, elongated, and seemingly multi-humped. The estimated length of the visible creature was approximately 15 to 20 meters. The segment's high-impact strategy is driven by real-world eyewitness testimony crossed with mythological inevitability. A simple tourist, looking for sun-bleached beaches, instead found a living echo of Greek lore. The inability of local marine biologists to provide a definitive identification added massive fuel to the mystery. Dismissals ranged from an anomaly caused by a current catching a massive debris field to a photographic artifact. However, the shape's organic continuity, the suggestion of movement, and a streamlined, biological form made these explanations unsatisfying. In Greek mythology, the Mediterranean is the birthplace of some of the most fearsome monsters, the multi-headed Hydra, Scylla, and Charybdis. The Corfu sighting taps directly into this ancient terror. When modern cold technology confirms a large, unidentified, serpentine mass lurking near an island known for centuries of seafaring legends, the line between folklore and digital evidence completely dissolves. This creature, dubbed by some as the Corfu serpent, is a terrifying reminder that even in the most thoroughly charted and historically populated seas on Earth, the digital eye can reveal that the myths of the past are not fully laid to rest. The possibility remains that something huge, dark, and utterly unknown is using the deep Aegean trenches and Mediterranean caves as its silent, primordial hunting ground. Number 4. The giant centipede, the 120-meter shadow. At number 4, we take the tension of scale to its breaking point. We are heading to the icy waters of the North Atlantic near the Outer Hebrides in Scotland, a place where the sea is dark, deep, and guards secrets dating back to the last ice age. Here, a shadow, measuring beyond what any biologist would believe possible, was captured by the cold lens of Google Earth. The profile is shocking, a continuous, dark line cutting through the water's surface. But the technical analysis, performed by geometers and enthusiasts, yielded a figure that stops the breath: 120 meters, 394 feet in length. To put this in perspective, the blue whale, the largest animal known to have ever existed, maxes out at around 30 meters. This anomaly is 4 times longer than the largest predator on our planet. If this shadow is a living creature, it is not a sea inhabitant, it is an entire dimension of life. The shape of the shadow is what makes it even more unsettling. It is not the smooth profile of a whale, nor the zigzag of a giant squid. It is disturbingly segmented. There appear to be divisions or nodes along its body, which led the internet community to name it the giant centipede. Now, we must confront the rational theories because the human brain resists accepting a 120-meter creature. Theory 1. The satellite glitch, the digital deception. The most common explanation is that this is a digital artifact or an image failure. When a satellite takes multiple passes over an area, the images must be stitched together. An error in the alignment could stretch a smaller object, like a vessel or a line of algae, into a monstrous length. This is technically plausible, but the organic consistency of the curve is difficult to dismiss as mere error. Theory 2. The inanimate shadow, the illusion of light. It could be the shadow of an extremely low-lying cloud formation, projected in a distorted manner onto a perfectly flat water surface. The angle of light in northern latitudes can create optical illusions that magnify and lengthen shapes. However, the shadow appears to be in the water, not cast upon it, suggesting a submerged object. But the segmentation persists, and this is where the dopamine spikes and the biology collapses. Theory 3. The colossal segmented organism. If the shadow is organic, its segmented nature suggests something with a modular body, or perhaps a massive network structure. We could be observing a colony of gigantic siphonophores, organisms that are colonies of smaller creatures acting as one. The largest known siphonophore can reach 40 meters. If the Scottish creature is an even larger species, it would be the evolutionary apex of network predation, a 120-meter-long hunter that is not a single being, but a cohesive machine made of thousands of entities. The 120-meter shadow doesn't just scare us because of what it might be, but because it represents an absolute blind spot in our understanding of marine life. It is the most powerful digital proof that something of impossible size is lurking in the depths, something the human eye has not seen, but which the satellite eye, cold and emotionless, has catalogued. The scale of this shadow is a direct challenge to everything we thought we knew about the biomass and energy required to sustain such vast life on Earth. It is the scale that precedes the panic. Number 3. The Loch Ness Monster, Nessie. Now we pull back from the ocean and focus on the most famous of all aquatic mysteries, the Loch Ness Monster or Nessie. This is a unique case because we are not going to talk about folklore or the classic blurry photograph. We are going to speak only and exclusively about the satellite evidence. Loch Ness in Scotland is a deep, dark, and most importantly, closed body of water. If something large lives there, it is trapped. Over the years, multiple Google Earth images have tried to capture the beast, but one stands out for its clarity and its direct challenge to established mythology. The image shows a dark, submerged silhouette in the southern part of the lake. The analysis of its length and width suggests the creature measures between 25 and 30 meters, 82 to 98 feet long. Again, a scale that exceeds any known freshwater creature. But the most telling detail is the shape. The silhouette is not that of a plesiosaurus, the long neck and small head of the legend. Instead, the digital image reveals a massive, robust, whale-like body, ending in a large head, which some described as saucer-headed or giant fish-shaped. The focus here is the redefinition of the visual evidence. For decades, the myth centered on a prehistoric marine reptile. The satellite image, however, suggests a more terrifying truth. If something massive exists in Loch Ness, it is a modern aquatic animal, an evolutionary giant that has taken the form of an agile predator with a disproportionately large head. The terror generated by this digital sighting is twofold. Confirmation of concealment. The image provides near irrefutable evidence that something of colossal size resides in the lake, confirming the fear that this myth is, in fact, a biological reality. The digital footprint of a massive, submerged mass is simply too clear to dismiss entirely. Mystery of the species. By contradicting the plesiosaurus form, the image forces us to ask, what is this new animal? Is it a lineage of giant eel never before seen? Is it a trapped freshwater whale that somehow adapted? The fact that modern technology discredits the form of a legend, but confirms the existence of a scale, is one of the most chilling ironies of digital cryptozoology. The satellite, a cold piece of silicon in space, has taken away the comfortable fantasy of a playful plesiosaurus and given us a new nightmare, the unmistakable silhouette of a gigantic, unknown predator lurking beneath Scotland's murky water. Number 2. The Kraken. We advance to number 2 and return to the most hostile and primordial environment of all, the Southern Ocean and the Antarctic Peninsula. Here, where the water temperature is at freezing point and ice makes exploration nearly impossible, Google Earth captured the specter of the most legendary monster in naval history, the Kraken. The location is key, near Deception Island, an active volcanic caldera in Antarctica. It is a place of extreme geological contrasts, with waters that are simultaneously deep, freezing, and warmed by geothermal activity, the perfect environment for deep-sea gigantism. The image shows an anomaly of such a vast scale that it resembles an underwater crater or an open wound in the ocean. However, at the center of this disturbance, a dark structure was captured, a solid body that curves like a death spiral. Conspiracy theorists were quick to claim it, a kraken, the creature of Norse myths, capable of sinking entire ships with its tentacles. And the scale supports the madness. The claimed length, based on the wake and surrounding structures, enthusiasts calculated a total tentacle length of up to 120 meters. This aligns it with the giant centipede in terms of total perceived length. The central body measurement, but more cautious analysts focused on the densest, darkest part of the structure, the visible central body. This section, excluding the extended tentacles, was measured at approximately 30 meters, 98 feet. That is the size of a full-grown blue whale. The terror factor in this sighting is the conjunction of extreme scale and hostile environment. We are looking at a whale-sized mass that, if it is a giant squid, the Architeuthis, means there's an Antarctic species that is much larger and more aggressive than science dares to admit. If it is the mythological thing, the kraken, it is the most unsettling confirmation that the monsters that terrorized sailors in antiquity still lurk, only they have retreated to the Earth's final ice stronghold. The concept of a 30-meter central body, capable of generating a visible spiral on the surface of the Southern Ocean, freezes the blood. It suggests a power and swimming capacity that dwarfs the giant squid of the tropical depths. Antarctica, the last wilderness on Earth, has yielded a digital image suggesting that legends are simply imperfect descriptions of a terrifying biological reality. The Antarctic death coil is not just a squid, it is the symbol of the primal, untapped potency found in the planet's most inaccessible part. Number 1. Super Crab, the UK Coastal Panic. We have reached number 1. The most mysterious, most shocking, and most importantly, most proximate Google Earth sighting to civilization. The terror here does not reside in the darkness of Antarctica or the mythology of a remote gulf, but in the disturbing proximity of a familiar, densely populated coast. The number 1 sighting took place in Whitstable, a coastal town in Kent, UK, known for its oysters and tranquil beaches. The panic began with a single aerial photograph that went viral, the Whitstable super crab. The image shows a huge, unmistakably crustacean-like shape right near the harbor shore. Estimates of its size, measuring from claw tip to claw tip, vary, but the consensus is that the form is at least 15 to 20 meters, 50 to 65 feet, wide. This is what makes it number 1. The largest known crab, the Japanese spider crab, has a leg span of only 3.7 meters, 12 feet. This is a creature 5 times larger than the largest known crustacean in nature. The image of a crab is visceral, is familiar, it is arachnid-like, and is inherently unsettling. Seeing such a massive form with clearly defined claws and legs, not in the abyssal trenches, but right next to a tourist pier, caused immediate local panic. Reports at the time spoke of genuine concern among locals, not just about the anomaly, but about the possibility that such a large creature could emerge onto the shore. Immediately, the image was attacked as Photoshop or sand formation. Photoshop/glitch. The issue is the consistency of the shape, is organically defined. Although the texture is granular, the structure of the claws and the central body fits the profile of a crab too well. Sand formation or mud bank. This is the most plausible rational explanation. But the structure is so perfect and so clearly defined in a place where sediments are often irregular that the coincidence borders on the miraculous or the malevolent. The segmentation is not just the image, it is the psychological reality it imposes. The terror of the super crab is not its venom, but its proximity and its violation of scale. It forced us to confront the idea that the most monstrous and gigantic life is not 7 miles down, but perhaps only a few strokes away from where our children swim. The super crab is the definitive reminder that Google Earth can fail, can distort, or can reveal, but the final result is an image that, for a moment, forced us to believe that a crustacean the size of a school bus was lurking in the familiar waters of the United Kingdom. It is the perfect end to our countdown, a digital terror with an immediate and chilling connection to the real world, and the most powerful adrenaline trigger of all. If this impressed you, wait until you see the reason NASA stopped exploring the ocean.